All right. There we go. All right, so this is going to be tools for tech-enabled agent number 3. So the things we're going to be going over today specifically is going to be the agent sites. So setting that up, what that's going to look like when it's completed. I'm also going to show you how to add and delete some of those pages. I'll show you a glimpse of what you can actually do to your page with some of the things that I've added to my personal page. I know some of you have probably seen that, but some of y'all may have not. So I'll show you what that looks like. I'm going to go over landing pages, kind of go over the difference between agent site pages and the landing pages. I'm going to go over Guide Builder. There's actually a guide, so a specific buyer and a listing guide, so they can follow along and see where they are at the end of the transaction. And then also we're going to round it off with the KW app. We're not talking about Kelly. We're going to be talking about our specific consumer-facing app. So this will be something that you can use. You can make your own account, you as a consumer, but just be aware that it is an app that you send to your consumers, and that's what they're going to search their houses with. So it's not built for us, it's built for them, but you can still get in there and see what they're looking at. So as with every class in this series, we're going to be inside of Command. So to get there as normal, it's going to be agent.kw.com. And whenever you log in, we're going to be going down to the bottom down there where it says consumer. So again, if you don't remember what those are, you can click on the KW at the top and all those titles will come out, excuse me, and you'll be able to see those labeled tabs. So we're going to go down to consumer. So as you may have assumed, the consumer is going to be everything that's outward facing to our clients. So this is where your apps, this is where your pages, your landing pages, your guides. So this is where we're going to spend the majority of our class. So within here, the first view that you're going to see is the agent sites. Okay.
Josh, I can't see the screen.
If you don't have any agent sites,
Josh,
or you completed your website, you may not see any of these. So these are all the ones that I have created. So what
Josh,
we're going to do to make sure you have your site up and going when you leave this class is we're going to go ahead and start your website. So if you don't know, since you are a KW agent, we do a free website with Command. Okay, so way to know what your website is, we're going to click on Site and App Settings at the top right hand side. And this is where everything that has to do with your website is going to take place. Okay, so I'm going to show you some of these things, and then whenever we do build our website, you're going to see some of these again, because this right here is where you're actually going to be able to adjust those once you get done making your site, instead of having to go through the whole process that we're about to go through here in a minute. Okay, but you do have to go through that process to create your site. So right here off the bat, you'll see that here's your general settings. So this is where you'll be able to change your welcome text, or here they call it your hero text. Right below that is going to be your pictures. So if you see some pictures there, they're probably more not Texas-y. They're going to be more about like the West Coast look like, or more of like Austin view.
Josh, can you show your screen?
Don't freak out if yours looks different than mine. Below that, for your landing page for your app, you can actually change the wording for that. So that's where you're going to change that there. And then below that, you can actually now add virtual tours to your website. So they'll be able to go and see those virtual websites and be able to do all that in there. Sorry about that, Betty. There we go. So let me start that over again, just so y'all can see that. Okay. So we're going to go back into consumer at the very bottom, and we're going to click on Site and App Settings. Okay. Like I said, you're going to see all those things now on your screen that we were just talking about. Give it here in minutes. There it goes. And so this is, like I said, this is all the settings, the general settings for your website. So the next tab you have here is going to be your URLs. Now, inside of here is where you're going to see your website specific URL. So you can see right there where it says your subdomain, that is your website. Okay. So for example, mine is closewithbeard.kw.com. So anything on the left-hand side of that .kw.com is what your subdomain is. Okay. So you can change that to anything you want to. Just have to make sure that it's not already taken. Obviously, if it's already taken, then you can have it. So just be aware if you want something catchy. If not, it'll usually just be your name. So it'll be your first and last name .kw.com. Below that is going to be your app URL. So what this is, if you share this app link, this will actually automatically go to Google Play Store or the Apple App Store and download the KW app. Now, what's neat with it though is since you're downloading it with this link, it should go ahead and make you as their agent. Okay, so you'll notice if you're looking at yours right now, yours should not say KWITV2L because that is me. And everybody specific in KW has their own slash combination of letters and words for them specific. Okay. Next one here is going to be featured listings. So if this is your first time being in here and looking at the websites, or if this is not your first time and you haven't seen this update, we now have the ability to have featured listings on your homepage so that when they come to your website, they can actually scroll down right below the search bar and be able to see some featured listings that you want to be on there. This is any agent or any listings you want to, doesn't matter the agent, it'll show that listing. Of course, when you click on it in small letterings, it will show the agent and the broker that has it. So you are still in compliance, which is good. Okay. Next one, very simple, is if you want to change the theme, if you want it to be red or black, you can choose it here. I have no idea if they're going to add any more themes. I would assume they would, but that is probably not something on their radar right now. Okay. And then last but not least is going to be agent site pages. So this is going to be all the pages that I have on my website. So on the left-hand side here, that you can see on the screen, those are all the pages that are actually on my website. So I'm going to stop right here for a second so I can tell you the difference between agent site pages and landing pages. Okay. So agent site pages are websites or web pages that are actually on your site and they can be accessed to your website. So in this case, if you go to closewithbeard.kw.com, there is a menu there that you can access all these links on the left-hand side. Okay. Landing page can be used in different types of ways. So if you have for example, if you have a extensive listing here that you want to make a website designated for that page, you can make a landing page for it and share that landing page specifically on your marketing material, or if you want to put it on Facebook or Instagram or anything like that, and it'll be a page that they go to for that particular subject. Okay. Now it is still tied to your command because at the very bottom there is a contact for more information, and they can fill in their first name, last name, phone number, and email address. And as y'all seen in previous classes, when they do that, it automatically goes to your command, marks them as a lead, and then you start able to market to them, i.e. with your smart plans or campaigns. So it is still tied to your website, but it's not on your website. Does that make sense? Cool. So that's the only difference between the two. And I'll show you what a landing page looks like as opposed to a site page here in a minute. Okay. So the next thing we're going to go over is how to get your website actually up. Okay. So what we're going to do from this screen right here, you should have a Learn More with Kelly guides up here at the top right next to agent site options. So if you click on that, it's going to ask you which guide you would like to complete. Now, in this case, we want to go ahead and do the agent site. So we're going to do agent site and we're going to click on continue. Now, what this is going to do is take you into what we call the Kelly guides. So if you're not familiar with what Keller Guides is, it is our, our guide system for command. So there's different guides for different things in here. And it makes it easier for y'all to understand what is going on, how it's going to be made, okay? So this is just telling you basically what you're going to do. You're going to choose your theme. So you're going to choose your domain, your theme and styling, and then you're going to go ahead and make a page for your website. So from right here, if you go ahead and click on Get Started, it's going to give you some compliance reminders that's letting you know that this is going to be used, and make sure that you have access to your DBA, your logo, and make sure you have access to your broker logos. If you don't have access to those, they're in your Market Center intranet documents, and I will also be putting those in the description for this video so you can download it from there as well. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and hit acknowledge and continue. And now you're on your way to making your website. So the first thing on the right-hand side is you're going to choose that subdomain. So right here, I still have Close with Beard. Thing you want to make sure is you do confirm, and it will say, congratulations, you have claimed your subdomain. If it's already taken, it will say denied, and you will have to choose another one. So if you want to make it a little more customizable, you can. I've had this handle since Command first launched. So I think that's one of the reasons why I was still able to secure that. But be sure to check in and see which ones are available so that you can go ahead and claim yours. Below that is the marketing profile. Now at this point, we do go over marketing profile and tools for tech-enabled agent number 1. But if you haven't already completed it, this is where you will fill in all the stuff. Most of your stuff should already be filled in if you've done that from that first class, so you shouldn't have to worry. It'll just kind of show you there again, and if you'd like to update anything, you can absolutely do that, okay? So right below that, we're going to do save and continue. And it's going to take you into the themes. So you're going to see that these are the same options we went through earlier, because this is the guide that's going to build you through it. And then if you need to go back and edit any of that stuff, you will just go back and edit it from the settings there. Make sense? So right below here, you'll see that here's the hero text. So if you want to change that there, if you want to go ahead and change your hero photos, like I said, I changed mine because mine didn't really give off a Texas feel. So I went ahead and deleted mine and made it more about my clients. So these are all my closing photos that I've put on mine. You can make this inside of Designs as well. There's actually a template. You just download it and put your photos in there of your closings. After that, you're going to click on Save and Continue again. And we're going to go to a couple of the profiles. I'm going to skip these, but I'm going to show you what they look like. First one's company profile. Basically what this is you can fill in how your business is ran, or if you want to kind of give an overview of what makes you different, something like that, you can. I've chosen not to include this on mine, but you're more than welcome to include it on yours. If you don't want to, you can just hit the word skip down here on the right, or you can do continue once you fill everything out. But I'm going to go ahead and hit skip here. Again, here's another one that's going to be the About Me. This is going to be your bio. So the bio that you filled in on your marketing profile settings, it'll automatically make a bio page for you. It just has your bio, your picture there, and just your contact information, okay? We'll hit skip after that one. The last one here is going to be the Contact Us. This is just a contact page, kind of like you see on most websites. Again, if they fill out this specific widget here, it'll actually go right into your command. So the information they put here makes a contact inside of your command, which then you can go ahead and put them on smart plans, or you can go ahead and start reaching out to them and keep track of them inside of your command. So it's instantly tied there, okay? So once you get all that done, you'll be able to hit save and continue. And now your website is live. So for example, I'm going to go ahead and go to my website to kind of show you what this looks like and how you can kind of customize it to your stuff. So this is my website. So closewithbeard.kw.com. So as you can see, you can see the pictures that I've made. You'll notice that it will actually rotate through with them. So however many photos you put there in those photos, it just kind of goes through with them. And it does start with different ones every time. So it doesn't matter what that first one is, it'll just keep rotating through them, okay? Right below that is going to be the featured listings part. So I was telling you here, this is where your featured listings will be. So they can come down right below your search and be able to see all of your featured listings here, okay? Now I want to tell you, and I can show you right here, for example, is the ones that I currently have in here are not for sale. So if you notice, it says not for sale on these little bubbles. That's because obviously they're not available anymore. Obviously they weren't like that when I put them in there, right? So be aware that to come check your listings every once in a while, especially on this market right now, where things are flying off the shelf. Make sure that you're coming in here and keeping live listings on here so it's always updated correctly, okay? And then again, right below that is going to be your contact me section. So again, if you fill out this, your clients fill out this section here, it does go automatically to your command for you to be able to reach out to them, okay? And again, on the right-hand side over here, like I told you, I can click down on this menu and now you can see all the pages that I have. So these are your agent site pages. Sorry about that. This is what I was saying, these pages are accessible through your page. So you don't have a landing page for these. These are actually on your website. So for example, some of the stuff that I have put on here that you can do some Google Forms. So you can actually embed a Google form in here so that they can fill in if you're trying to get a home evaluation, so they can fill this out. You will get the notification in Gmail and you can actually reach out to them. Now, again, these are custom ones. I'm more than welcome to show y'all how to do this, but this is the kind of stuff that you can actually put on your website. So if you're familiar with HTML code or doing any form of coding, you can add this stuff on here and it's very, very easy. So for example, here's another mortgage calculator. And then we move into the couple of ones that I really like to use on my marketing stuff. Here's one for Keller Mortgage. So this is actually a page designated for our mortgage provider here at Keller Williams. But it has YouTube videos and stuff already embedded into it, as well as links that allows them to pre-approve or get to the pre-approval link. So you see here where it says click here to get started with your pre-approval process. Since mine is connected to my Keller Mortgage, if they click on that, it automatically takes them to Keller Mortgage, and it actually takes them to my specific Keller Mortgage link. So right here at the bottom, you can see it says your agent is Joshua Beard. So if they fill this out here, I will get the notification for that mortgage provider, which is really cool. Another one on here I really like to use is my Let's Get Pre-Approved. These are my specific lenders that I like to use. So here I have Keller Mortgage again, Fairway Mortgage. Most of y'all are familiar with Steve Curtis. And then I have Cross Country Mortgage as well. But I can click on these links and it takes it there. So for example, Fairway Mortgage has their own link here. I can click on this and it will take them specifically to my loan officer's pre-approval website and then get started right here. So that's how I've customized my website to make it very unique. You can absolutely do that yourself. This takes a little time, but once you do get it down, it's very beneficial to set yourself apart from other agents. Cool. I got one more thing for the agent sites, and then I'll take some questions. So if you need to add or take anything away from your website, okay? So you can go to that again, site and app settings. And when we go back to that agent site pages on the right-hand side over there, the way you can delete them is clicking on these pages over here you want to get rid of, okay? So for example, you can see down here that I have this contact us that was made when we're doing the building process, right? So I already have, if you see above that, I have one that says contact me. I already have one made for me. So if I want to delete this, I just select it, go ahead and click these three dots that are right next to it, and I click on delete. It says click to confirm, and you click it again, and it will delete that page. Okay, that's no longer on there. Also, if you want to move any of these pages around, you have the little 6 dots on the other side. If you just click and drag those to wherever you want, however they appear in that list is how they're going to appear on your website. Okay. If you need to delete any of those site pages that you're not going to ever use again, if you go to the agent site pages, you'll see that first one on that list is contact us, right? It was created today. And you'll see that there's a gray eye next to it. Now we're going to point that out real quick. So the gray eye means that it's not active on a website, okay? So if you see that little eye on the right-hand side over here, this means that it's not active. It can't be seen, okay? But if it has a green eye, it means that it is active. So for example, if I click on this green eye right here, it'll actually take me to that website. So that actual agent site page, okay? So obviously if it's the green means it's active, gray, it's not. So more than likely, if you're like me, I like to clean my stuff up. If I'm not gonna use that site or that page ever again, I'm gonna go ahead and delete it, right? So I can go ahead and click on this 3 dots and you'll see that I have 2 options. Now, if this is not your first time or this is your first time in here, this may not look a little different, but if this is not your first time, you'll know that edit is actually a new option, okay? So what's cool within here is you can actually click on edit now, and it'll take you into being able to edit that page now. So you might have noticed in the designs portion that the agent site pages was actually removed. That is because now they are in the consumer section where they should be with the websites. So this is where you'll actually edit your websites or your pages now. So again, while we're in here, I'm gonna go ahead and show you how you can drag and drop and make this stuff work, okay? So on the right-hand side over here, these are the widgets that are given to you by Keller Williams. So you see there, we have a couple of them, we have 8 of them. We have team, contact form, testimonial list, testimonial capture form, download my app, company profile, testimonial carousel, and agent profile, okay? So all this is drag and drop. So if I wanted to put a team here, I can just click and drag this team, and wherever you see that green line is where it's going to drop it. So this is the widget for the team, okay? Now, if you're on a team, what's really neat about this one is if you click on configure widgets down here in the bottom right, which is what you're going to click to go ahead and change the information to any of these widgets. If you have a team, you can actually select a team from here where it says team, and it'll actually show you all the agents that are on that team. So for example, the Jenny Vaughn team, the Vaughn team, if I was on there, it would show all the agents that she has on her team. And what would be cool is you select them and it will automatically put their photos in those circles along with their name, their job title for the team, as well as their email. So all their contact information and who they are, what they are going to be in this thing. Now, again, there's different widgets you can put in here. I definitely suggest you come in here and kind of play around with each one of them. They do stuff a little different. I'll quickly just drag them in there and see what they look like. This is your agent profile. This is just your bio page, okay? This is your contact form. So when you're building different pages and you want to add a way for them to be in your database if they fill it out, that's what this right here is. You have a testimonial carousel, which is once you start receiving those reviews from your clients, this will actually just rotate your client reviews in a carousel. I'll try to think of another way to say it, but in a carousel. Below that is going to be the testimonial list. This one's just static. This is just a static list of your reviews. For those of you that have reached out about getting testimonials, this is how you actually get your testimonials. So this is the testimonial widget. What I have done myself is actually made this as a landing page. And sent to my clients, they fill this out. It's tied to the testimonial lists, and I'm able to come back in and add those testimonials that come in, okay? Next one is going to be company profile. We've already seen that one. And then download my app. This is just a nice little clever way if you want to put it as a header or if you want to put it as a footer. That lets people know that you have an app. And that download app is specific to you. So when they click on that, it will go to your app URL that we went over earlier. So that's how that's tied into that. With that being said, that is all on agent site pages and website. Did anybody have any questions? Anybody? Cool. So the next one we're going to go over is landing pages. So right here from inside of consumers, you'll see that you have the landing page. Let me go ahead and delete this before I forget, because I will. And I'm going to go ahead and click on the landing pages. Now, like I said earlier, these are pages specifically for a certain subject, okay? So let me give you kind of an idea here. So I had a very unique listing last year that I made a landing page for, okay? So this is the property that I made it. Please disregard the address because that's wrong. But this is how your landing page is going to look. So you can customize up here at the top where it says the address up here. This, you can put welcome to your next home or whatever you want it to be, okay? And then everything below that is things you will be specific for, like, for example, this listing. So this is a landing page specific for this listing. So it has all the information about it, where it's at, and at the very end, it ends with a contact me. Again, this contact, anytime you see this anywhere on your website, if they put their information in there, it automatically puts it in your command. Okay, so they fill in first name, last name, phone number, email address. It'll automatically go into your command as a contact. Okay, but you can make things specific. So maybe you're doing a giveaway with your team, or you're doing an event. You can make stuff, the landing page specifically for that subject. One thing I've used it for again is websites. For ads. I have ads that I run specifically hyper-local for neighborhoods. So I will make neighborhood specific ones and do that. So for example, I have one for Deer Park here. I have one for Dickinson. So when I run those ads, I use those landing pages specifically to have them land on, okay? This is the same thing for the site pages. If you do the create a new page up here, you'll be able to choose which ones you want. If you do the agent site, you'll get the same page that you saw earlier. If you do as a landing page, it'll be a little bit different, but it's very much the same concept. The only thing you'll notice is that this stuff on the right-hand side is just a little bit different, okay? So you have agent branding. So you have stuff that's branded to you, okay? You have the branded header. So that's the one that was on there that showed the heading. There's that. You have the lead form again is on here. You have your legal footer. So this is where all of your legal stuff is. When you go through and save it, it'll actually show your links for your IABS and all that so that you're in compliance, which is really helpful. If you want to do one for a listing, so if I drag this listing in there, you'll see that this was already a widget and I just put an address in there and it does it for you, okay? So that's already all done for you. You just choose the listing and all that auto-populates with all the information for you, okay? Another one on here is Market Snap. This one is, if you're familiar with the Kelly app, it's very similar, but this gives you a snapshot for particular neighborhoods. It'll actually, same way, if you do the configure widgets, do the zip code, it'll actually bring in those neighborhoods. You choose which one, and it will auto-populate all this information in there for you so you don't have to, which is really cool. Local expert, this is just telling you who you are, gives you more information, contact information, stuff like that. New is you can actually add videos. So you can actually add a video specifically into your website. So if you want to add more stuff on there, you can. You can do your testimonial capture page. So if you want to do it as a landing page, you can, which is what I have suggested. And then again, you have your download my app as the other one. Now these work again, the same thing as your site page. But again, instead of being attached to your page, it'll actually be right here for you, those links. Now, from here, you can change these URLs a little bit. So if you wanted to change the URL, you can change everything after the third slash there. So if you're looking at that website, everything from right here back, you can change. Everything before that is specific to you. So those should look all the same or look all different. This right here will be something specific. So for example, I've changed a couple down here to Dickinson trends and Deer Park trends. So you'll see everything before that's the same, but everything after that is what I customize, okay? So it's something different. You can use this as a marketing material, as I've said, or if you want to use it as a way to do like giveaways or ads and stuff like that. Anybody have any questions specifically on the landing pages? Yes, sir.
So those listings that you were driving, where do you keep those? Like, specifically see built?
No, so that's a great question. So I'm gonna go back and do one of those listings. So I'm gonna go ahead and drag that listing over. So this is that widget. So this is a blank. So if you see anything that says Austin, Texas,
yeah,
it's pulling specifically because if you're not aware, KW is an Austin-based company, so that's where it's pulling information from. But what's cool is once you click on configure widget and click on listings, it now allows you to browse listings, any listings.
oh, no.
Yeah, so you can actually click on browse listing, and it's going to pull up all the listings for KW wide. So anything KW, and I've seen some of them not KW. So I believe, and don't quote me on this, but it is nationwide because we do share hard with other MLSs. So this will be all MLSs in one place. That's why we have over 4 million lists, or 4 billion listings on there? So it's pulling all those. But what's cool, so if I wanted to do one for the Cedar Rapids right here, I can click on select. I can go ahead and have it all in here. So it says select from listing or use a custom image. I'm going to use the one that's already here. I'm going to do save and apply. Now you'll see automatically all that stuff on the left-hand side is automatically going to update to that listing information. So the first picture is going to be the picture from that listing. It's going to have the address already, price. It's going to have the photo, all the details, where it's at on the map. So this automatically updates when you're just selecting the listing.
It's just
Yep. Yes, sir. That was a good question. Thank you, though. Any other ones? Check the chat bar. Nothing. Cool. So last thing we're going to go over, second to last thing we're going to go over is Guide Builder. So if you're not aware, with inside of Command, you can have your own buyer and seller guides. This is kind of different than your buyer and seller presentations. These are more of showing you your clients where they're at within the transaction. Okay, so I'm just going to use the buy one for example, but it's very much the same thing as your sellers there. So you'll click in there and you'll notice that you have two for right now. We have buyer and seller. I'm not aware of them doing any for their rentals yet, but I wouldn't write it off, but I haven't seen anything on that. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and edit this. So you'll see on buyer on the far right-hand side, we have those 3 little dots. So if you click on that, you'll be able to edit the guide. Now, once you come in here, this is going to be your guide builder. And you'll be able to edit this guide how you see fit, or you can leave it the same. You'll see that I've customized a little bit of it. I put my pre-approval link on there and stuff like that. But all this is already done for you. So all the way from get approved, all the way to close, it kind of lets them know where they're at in that process. If you don't like these, you can always click on it and you can delete that step, or you can edit that step, or you can switch them around. So maybe you want to start the search first on this particular client. If you want to grab this and drag it up, it'll swap those orders. Now, what's cool about this is this is inside of your app. So whenever you send that app, which we're going to go over next, this is actually in their app. So when they log in, at the very bottom, it does say guide. And whatever you checked off with inside of their opportunities to show where they're at, it will update in their app automatically, which is really cool. So it keeps track of where they are at and stuff like that. Okay. Also from here is your introduction. So whenever they first get into that and start using that guide, this is the first thing it's going to say. So you see right here, says, congratulations on the process. I'm buying your home. And it goes through, it kind of talks about what this guide is going to do. Okay. Very simple, but very powerful because it's already done for you. You're just sharing it with your clients, and now they already have it at the palm of their hand, and they can look at it. Anybody have any questions on that? It's very simple, already done. What? So the last thing that we're going to go over is the app. Okay. So there's a couple different ways that you can share this and get this out to your clients. So we went over one earlier. So I'm going to go back to site and app settings. And like I said, with inside that URL, you can send that link there for the app, and that's one way to get to it. Or if you already have the app. Now let's see if I can bring this up. I will do it here. Share screen. Bear with me there, Zoom. I'm going to put this up here. That way I can walk over here and show everybody else in the room. Perfect. Can you see that there, Zoom? Perfect. So if you already have the app, it's going to be this white PW. Okay. So when you click in that, this is going to be your app specific for your clients. Like I said, this is only for your clients. This will not be used as an agent. Okay. You can use this to look up information or to share that app with your clients. But as far as using it to gather information, it's for your clients. Because if they go to those listings anyway, you'll be able to see that inside of your command. Okay. So from right here, you'll see a couple of things. One thing that I really like about this app, some of y'all may not know, the moment that you log into it, you automatically can start searching for listings. Unlike your other competitors, I'm not going to mention their name. If you do download the app, you have to do a couple of different searches and so, or a couple of taps to get to actually looking for houses. Ours specifically, once you open the app, you can actually start pinching and zooming and going straight into looking at listings and looking at different things. Okay, so that's really one really cool thing I like about our app. It doesn't make you go through a bunch of walls to get there. So you have that first one, the far left is going to be search. So that's the stock image or the stock page you come in on. The one to the right of that is going to be your feed. So you'll see here right now across the top, you should see a couple of options. You may or may not that says save search and collections and guide. Does anybody see that on theirs? If you're not logged in, it may not. If it doesn't, I'm still going to show you. The save searches are things you can save. So with inside of your contacts, which went over on that first class, you can save a search specifically for that client. And so when they open up their app, they will see their specific save search on their app because you created it for them. Okay. Collections. This is a new thing that they've rolled out. I can actually build a collection of homes on my side if I wanted to share with you, maybe if you wanted to watch them, not necessarily if you wanted to view them, because it doesn't update. So if for some reason, or for so let's say the crazy market we have right now, I put a couple of houses on there and I sent you this morning, but you didn't check it till tomorrow morning, more than likely they're probably out of contract. So it's just something that you can keep track of listings. It's not really used to get those listings to your client, if that makes sense. Okay. And then right here is the one of two ways to get to your guide. So there's the guide there as well. But we're going to go ahead and go to the main guide, and you'll click right there in the center. You'll see that you have the guide there. So now I have the guide that I was just showing on my command right here. So right here for this specifically for me, Josh Beard, the buyer, I'm on step make an offer as a buyer. Okay, so that's where they know that they are. And as those get checked off, those get bubbled in. Okay, excuse me. Next one is going to be saved. exactly what you think it is. You can go to those listings inside the app and you can heart certain ones that you want to keep track on, or if you want the agent to know. And if your client hearts it, it'll actually show up in that client's contact card, and it shows that they are on there. Another thing I forgot to mention, let's start there in the search. Any listing they tap on, any of them, whether they're searching or not, it'll show up in their contacts. So you can see what they're looking for, how they're looking for, and stuff like that. Okay. Then last but not least, we're going to go over the more section. The more is going to be where it should show you as the agent. Okay. So at the very top on this one, it shows me logged in as Joshua Beard, the buyer. But then right below that, it says Joshua Beard, the agent. Okay. Now below that, I can add a co-buyer in here. So what's really cool about our app is if you have spouses or significant others that would like to share their houses that they like, they can actually add a co-buyer, and anything that other person does on their app will also reflect on the others and vice versa, which is really cool. Below that is just going to be your basic settings for your history and your account, stuff like that. One thing that's really cool is if you don't know, we actually have two things that we offer to our clients, which is Keller Covered, which is the insurance company that we provide with inside Keller Williams. And then below that, we also have Keller Mortgage. So that's another one. Those are quick links, excuse me, and they're specifically marketed to you. So if you share it from here, it goes to your Keller Covered account and your Keller Mortgage account. Below that, they have added a calculator. So now that there is a mortgage calculator right here, so they can see what it looks like, stuff like that. And then below that is the main reason that we're in here, is the share the KW app. So this is the one of two ways you can share it from here. So if you click the share the KW app, you'll see that you will be able to share that app to anybody on your tray there, okay? Also, if you have an amazing agent like Joshua Beard here and you want to share with one of your clients, you can actually click on view the agent profile, and you can look down at the bottom and now it says referral. Can you see that? You click on refer, and now you can send that same thing to your client, but it makes it a little bit different. So if I click on messages here, you'll notice the wording is a little bit different. There it goes. It says, this is the KW agent I was telling you about, and then follows it up with the link to download your app. So that's your two different ways that you can share those apps. Anybody have any questions on that part? Yes, sir.
So you said that this app is specifically for the buyer side, or the client side.
Correct. Yeah, just consumer.
So how do that information that comes to us? Is there an app for us that it comes to?
As of not yet. It only comes to command right now. I can't say too much because it hasn't been publicly released, but I can tell you that we will have a command mobile app before the end of the year. And it will be reflective of this platform, and it's very, very, very rich in detail. There's a lot of stuff that's going on with it, but we will be getting that by the end of the year. As of right now, for example, I'll show you what those look like. So I'm gonna pull up my contact card specifically. So let me share my screen here again. And I will go to my contact card. I love the internet. Try it again. So I'm gonna go inside of mine. Now remember, this is me as a consumer, okay? I made one specific so I can keep track of how things look like as a consumer, okay? So on the right-hand side, you can see that each time that it was tapped on in the app, it shows up what listing it was. So I can go back in here and click on these listings and see exactly what they were looking at, but I'm going to see the desktop version instead of the app. So I can actually see the listing. I can come in here and see what they were looking at. This is a rental. So maybe they're going to be a renter now instead of a buyer. So you can see exactly what's going on. Just like the saved searches, this is where you would do those saved searches and they would pop up here and they would reflect inside of the consumer app. Good question. Any other ones? Betty, you good? So yeah, this is a lot of the stuff based for your consumer. So this is not really built for other agents. Obviously, this is for things that make your experience with your clients a little bit better. Okay. So before we wrap up here, since we have 3 people in here, let me get 3 ahas. If you're not familiar with what an aha is, it's agents helping agents. So basically, that means you found something during this class that's going to help you going forward. Okay. So did you learn anything besides all of it?
The specific questions that I had, the information I would report information.
Okay, cool. For you? All of it? All of it? All right, Betty, what about you? Did you have a aha there, Betty? Did you have a ha-ha for the class? Good? Cool. So like I said, these things are going to be changing every once in a while, and it's always good to come back to the class. As I've said, this will be recorded, so if you want to go back and watch this again, if you weren't able to get into class, or maybe you were late, you can watch this class again. So with that being said, I want to thank you for coming to the class, and if you have any questions, as usual, always reach out to me, and I will have no problem helping you out. So thank you for coming to the class, and enjoy the rest of your evening.